Hey everybody, this is Divine. Thanks so much for being here. We're going to do something a little bit different and stick around if you want to see what that's all about. Okay, so I just had to put my incense in the incense holder. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to be looking at my book, Angelic Guidance, and I'm just going to turn to a random page, okay? And we're going to get kind of a theme and a message, because this book actually just has random messages all the way through it, channeled messages, okay? So I wrote this back in 2013, so it's 11 years old now. And you can just go, it's just easier to go onto Amazon, eBay, somewhere like that to find a copy of this book. You can also get it in an ebook format. I personally don't have any copies with me, unfortunately, or I would be able to sign them for you. Anyway, let's get a random message from an angel in here, or some kind of whatever we're meant to hear. I'm going to close my eyes. Okay, so I've turned to a random page which is full of channeled messages, right? So now I'm going to just take my finger like this and land somewhere. Okay, so I am going to be reading to you this paragraph, and from here we will get some other messages. So this is interesting. Okay. When seeking relief from the stresses of your job, find comfort in the fact that you can have your dream job, and if you ask for assistance, then watch and follow the doors that open for you. It will be available quicker. Don't ever force yourself to stay in positions that make you miserable. Trust that all your needs will be met if you're asking for assistance and imagining it so. So, one thing that the angels always tell us and connect with about is that they do not want to limit. So for example, you know, when we do readings and we do messages and we do our spiritual work, this is not about limiting you and your choices. In fact, it's asking you to use your intuition. It's asking you to dig a little bit deeper. When we're stuck in a loveless relationship and we have children and, you know, it's all abusive, there's nothing there that is expecting you to stay there, except for fears. Fears keep you in positions longer than you need to be, right? People stay because they're afraid of going. And I know this myself with my oldest two children. Their dad was very, very DV. And it to the point where he was actually charged with murder. Okay, so dangerous person. And my thought at a very young age was like, if he finds me, like after I'm out, you know, he will, right? And I had actually left and gone back at one point in my life, and it was the worst mistake of my life. It was everything extremely accelerated. Anyway, so my positioning back then was that I have to stay because I've had children with this person. So I have to stay. It's my fault, right? All of this Christianity indoctrinated into my brain of you made your bed, you lay in it, right? The angels told me that there is nothing that is spiritual and forcing you to be miserable, okay? The angels do not come into your life only when you're doing as you're told. And God doesn't come into your life only when you're the perfect soul, right? Jesus doesn't come to just Christians or people who go to church either, okay? This is what is being taught, is loving thy neighbor. That means understanding that everybody is in circumstances of their own, okay? Part of it is their blueprint of life. And you're not going to be hated on by the spiritual realms because of the decisions that you make. In fact, you know, sometimes we have to be in positions that really do force us to grow, right? They really do force us to grow. But having to stay where you are miserable, okay, or a job, or, you know, a relationship, and you're sad and you're miserable and you're abused, don't ever think that that is coming from a punishing God who wants you to suck it up and stay there, okay? No badges of honor are given in those situations. You won't win one for sticking it out, you know. In fact, it could be extremely dangerous to you and your children. If you're in a job that you don't want or you don't like and you're incredibly unhappy, okay, it is time to set your sights to something better, something higher. And a lot of people try to figure out what that could possibly be. Right? Well, what's the right job for me then? Where am I going to be the happiness? What's my life purpose? Your life purpose is to heal and to create choices that bring you into a space of happiness. And even better, choose happiness now for yourself, right? So when you're in these positions where you're not, your gut knows it, your whole body knows it, you're dreading going to work. Do you really think that that's the right deal for you? It's not. Now, what's really the issue is the worry of what if? What if I leave here and it's worse? What if I can't find something else? And the messages of the divine, the messages of the angels are always like, hey, we will help you when you let go of the problem and allow us. Get out of your own damn way, as they say. Get out of your way. Get out of your own way. This was a very, very big lesson for me on the journey. Was like I was such an anxious person that I kind of like had to know, right? And just led me to more anxiety and fears of every move I made being the wrong one, okay? That is just simply not possible. Everything that you do in your life is created before you came here in a blueprint where you were going to learn certain things. Okay, it doesn't mean that it was a set time frame for you to learn those things. You could actually bypass a lot of the BS that you might have set yourself up for, okay, by understanding and recognizing these things a lot sooner, okay? And this is where I come in to help you, okay? My mission here on the planet is to help you to awaken to who you are. There's no ego. It's just, this is what it is. This is where it's at. Right? It is all about you healing and making those decisions, changing your life for the better, knowing that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Stop focusing and dwelling on all of the BS that's happened to you, and instead listen to that positive voice. Now, let's do some cards on this as well. I could just talk for days on end about stories and ways out of them and things that we can do. But let's get a message here, okay? All right, so we have justice. See, divine justice being done. Decisions made that, you're making for yourself that will bring you into that higher position, right? But you also have to accept that for yourself, okay? Because someone can tell you till they're blue in the face how to heal, but you've got to accept it. Someone can tell you like, this is how you get out of your situation, but then you've got to do it and you've got to trust. And if you have trust issues, that's a whole nother healing that needs to happen as well. But look, the world, justice happening for the world perhaps as well. So as you adapt to these changes that you're making within yourself, you're going to have to learn to be really patient as well. There are some people that say, it's easy for me, like saying that it's easy for me. It's not, okay? It is now, but it wasn't in the beginning, right? It's not easy for anybody. It's like when you learn to play an instrument, someone says, boy, my part in the music composition is really, really difficult. You know what? Everybody's part is difficult. And that's just the thing with your spiritual journey. Right? There's difficulties because you're navigating into new territory. You're getting to know yourself in a different way. It doesn't mean you're failing or falling, okay? It just means that you're learning and you're growing because of that. You're learning to grow through things that you experience. And another thing is that things are happening to you, sure, okay? But they're not happening because of you, okay? You're not being punished here. And that's one of the biggest lessons that anyone can learn on their journey. Know that the angels love you, they are with you, and anybody can talk to them at any time. Watch the difference